Cancelled Game of Thrones spin-offs. Exploring the lost stories of Westeros. Game of Thrones was more than just a TV show. It was a cultural phenomenon that captivated millions worldwide. Even though the original series ended, HBO had big plans to expand the world of Westeros with various spin-offs. While some, like House of the Dragon, have found success, others never made it past the planning stages. Let's dive into the fascinating stories of the Game of Thrones spin-offs that were cancelled before they could shine. Flea Bottom, a glimpse into King's Landing's underbelly. HBO. One of the first proposed spin-offs was Flea Bottom, named after the infamous slum district of King's Landing. This show would have explored life among the common folk, offering a ground-level perspective on the world of Westeros. Imagine delving into the gritty, untold stories of the people living in the shadows of the Iron Throne. Unfortunately, HBO canceled the project in 2021, likely due to its departure from the epic, high-stakes narrative the franchise is known for. Despite this, the idea of uncovering the hidden corners of Westeros remains intriguing. Bloodmoon, the rise and fall of a prequel. HBO. Bloodmoon was one of the most ambitious spin-offs, set during the Age of Heroes, thousands of years before the events of Game of Thrones. This prequel would have explored the First White Walker War and the Long Night, a period steeped in mystery and magic. With a $35 million pilot starring Naomi Watts and a talented creative team, it seemed promising. However, the project faced significant challenges, particularly because George R.R. Martin hadn't fully fleshed out this era in his books. Without a clear roadmap, the show's world-building became too daunting, leading HBO to cancel it despite its potential. 10,000 Ships. The Epic Journey of Princess Nymeria. HBO. Another cancelled spin-off, 10,000 Ships, would have followed the legendary journey of Princess Nymeria of the Rhoynar, who led her people to Dorne over 1,000 years before the events of Game of Thrones. This show would have been a classic tale of adventure, survival, and leadership, with Nymeria's story drawing parallels to iconic figures like Moses. Although the original concept was shelved, there's still hope for this project. George R.R. Martin recently announced that Pulitzer Prize winner Ebony Booth is revisiting the idea, bringing new life to this epic tale. Snow, the Jon Snow sequel that never was. HBO. Snow was the only true sequel idea for Game of Thrones, focusing on Jon Snow's journey after the events of Season 8. Kit Harington himself pitched the idea, and while it showed promise, the project ultimately stalled. The creative team struggled to find a compelling direction, and the controversial ending of the original series likely didn't help. Though the door remains slightly open for this sequel, it seems unlikely we'll see Jon Snow's further adventures anytime soon. Animated series. The Future of Westeros? HBO. While several live-action spin-offs have been cancelled, HBO is still exploring animated series set in the world of Game of Thrones. One, titled 9 Voyages, would follow Lord Corlys Velaryon, the Sea Snake, on his youthful adventures. Another, The Golden Empire, would delve into the mysterious region of ET, inspired by Imperial China. These animated projects offer a fresh way to expand the franchise, and with George R.R. Martin's involvement, they hold a lot of promise. Conclusion. The world of Game of Thrones is vast and full of untold stories, but not every idea makes it to the screen. From the gritty streets of Flea Bottom to the epic journey of 10,000 Ships, these cancelled spin-offs remind us of the endless possibilities within Westeros. While some may never see the light of day, others, like the animated series, could still bring new life to the franchise. For now, we can only imagine what could have been.